Hey Patty, it's only February, but I am excited to say it is time to start planting seeds again.
It is.
I am here today with our good friend Joellen Meyer-Sharp, the Hoosier Gardener at Sullivan's at 49th and Penn. They are graciously hosting us again. And Joellen, talk about why now is a great time to plant what we think of as cold weather plants, perhaps?
Right. Those are broccoli, cabbage, a lot of the lettuces, anything that you would think of that's a cold weather crop, like Brussels sprouts and things like that. So we start the seeds indoors about now, and then once the plants are growing, we transplant them outside in central Indiana around the middle of March, southern Indiana a little bit earlier in March, and in northern Indiana later in March. And we've got lots of different ways we can start seed. This is probably familiar to a lot of gardeners. It's called an 1801. So if you wanted to grow 18 different tomato plants, you could start seeds in here and then transplant out of here to the garden. And then there are also little square pots, little round pots, little 3.5-inch pots. You can also start in these little jiffy pots. You know, you want to use a really good potting mix, whether you use a seedling potting mix like that or whether you use just a regular all-purpose. But you definitely want a good potting mix because a good potting mix is formulated so that it drains well, and that's really important. The other thing to pay attention to is the back of the seed packets. There's usually a little bit of information right here that tells you how deep to sow the seeds. Sometimes it'll show you what the seedling looks like coming up, when you should thin them, when you can plant them outside. I usually dampen the potting mix rather than using it dry because it's just easier to get the seeds in there. So this is going to be, I'm kind of curious about this one. It's called Purple Magic Broccoli. This is another All-America selection. So the broccoli that we get is going to be sort of purple. After the seeds are planted, you kind of spritz them a little bit here just to sort of moisten that top layer. And then actually once they get growing, you can use a watering can. It's nice to have a shower head top on it.
And one of the reasons that we want to encourage people to do this is because nothing tastes as good.
No, really it doesn't. I have to say I've become addicted to growing my own lettuce. This is a wine country mesclun, which is just different little greens than you. And so I go out in the morning, I harvest the lettuce, I put it in my spinner, clean it, and then I wrap it up and put it in the fridge, and it's just, there's nothing like fresh picked lettuce.
Joellen, your website is
HoosierGardener.com.
And we want to say that Joellen is going to be back at the Flower and Patio show this year.
Right.
So if you're going to go, make sure you check out your discussion on natives.
Yes, on no-fail native plants.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Joellen, thanks so much
Thank
again.
you, Shannon. You're welcome.
I'm the Weekend Gardener for Great Day TV with Patty Spitler.